The title for today's presentation is Reading Paper Labels, and here's our objectives: to help you identify some important terms, in addition to identify product use, as well as common paper sizes and common package and carton quantities. Because we have many paper vendors, it's important to understand that labels vary widely. In this session, we will look at some general guidelines that should help you to read labels quickly and accurately. The label on this slide is only a sample, which represents what you should see on most package and carton labels. However, information varies between vendors and brands, and not all labels include identical information. We are going to read this sample label from left to right and top to bottom. So, starting at the top left side, we see first the manufacturer name. In this example, we see this label is for a Neenah paper product. The manufacturer name is the vendor that Kelly Paper buys the paper from. Most of our vendors are also manufacturers of the different papers that we buy. There are a few, however, like Xerox, that do not make paper, but rather contract the specification for their brands to other paper mills to make the product for them. Next, we see the brand name, or the product line name. As a paper professional, you will learn comparable brands to meet the needs of your customers. Paper brands are like many other branded products. There are always more brands available than any one store or distributor offers. Kelly Paper does carry a wide variety of paper brands. As you continue your time here at Kelly Paper, you will learn to offer and describe the right brand for the right printing application. Next, we see the vendor item number. This is the identification that the vendor has assigned to their product. Now we're looking at the vendor color. This is the color that the vendor has assigned to this particular product. There are many different colors available within each product brand or paper type, so make sure to pay close attention to the color that your customer asks for. Next, we see the paper size. In this sample, we see on the label that it's a digital sized paper. In other words, the mill has produced the paper to exact specifications for use in certain digital printing machines. Paper sizes are expressed in inches as well as millimeters. Another important standard that we can see on this label is that the second dimension indicates the grain direction. In this sample, we see that the second dimension is underlined. While the second dimension may not always be underlined, it is the standard that this second dimension is the grain direction. There are many printing or bindery processes that require long or short grain paper in order to achieve the desired result of the printed project. Long grain is when the fiber of the paper runs parallel to the long dimension of the paper, and short grain is when the fibers run perpendicular to the long dimension of the paper or run with the short dimension of the paper. In this example on the label, the paper is long grain. Next, we see the basis weight. Basis weight refers to the weight in pounds of 500 sheets of paper, or a ream, when it has been cut to the paper's standard basic size. Notice the basic The basis weight of this paper is 80 pounds. The basic size for 80-pound cover is 20 by 26, so that a ream or 500 sheets of the basic size, 20 by 26, weighs 80 pounds. Paper is also expressed in weight by the grams per square meter, or G/M2, also known as GSM, or grams per square meter. Many digital printing machines use this term, or one of these terms, in the owner's manual. Next, we see the M weight. The M weight is the weight per 1,000 sheets of the finished size of the paper. So, according to this label, there are 5,000 sheets in this carton, and the M weight is 36.36, so that the full carton is 36.36 times 5, weighing in at 181.8 pounds. Next, we see the UPC, or Universal Product Code. The code is printed as a barcode so that it can be scanned electronically with various scanning devices. It may be helpful to point out that many times the vendor item number is part of the UPC code. The next three slides demonstrate the vendor's commitment to responsible manufacturing. This first logo is the renewable energy logo. This is indicating that the manufacturer is using other natural resources like solar power, wind power, or water power to manufacture this product. Next, we see the carbon neutral logo. Here, the vendor is communicating that they are committed to reducing harmful emissions in the manufacturing process. Then we see the familiar recycled logo. This logo indicates that the paper has recycled paper fiber content. Generally, the logo with a percentage of recycled content without a percentage of recycled content listed indicates 100% recycled fiber. Products with less than 100% recycled fiber will indicate the percentage of the recycled fiber content. Finally, we see the FSC certification, or the Forest Stewardship Council. FSC's mission is to promote and enhance well-managed forests through credible certification that is environmentally responsible, socially acceptable, and economically viable. If you have a customer inquire about any of the details on any of these certifications or logos, they can find more information on the vendor's website. Next, we see the quantity. This is the sheet count for the package or carton. Whether you are reading a package or carton label, the quantity will always be listed. Now we're looking at the finish. The finish is the surface characteristics of the paper, such as luster, texture, as in laid, linen, or felt. These are examples of different paper finishes. The finish does have a definite impact on the finished printed material. Next is the acid-free indicator. A paper that lacks or excuse me, acid-free is a paper that lacks acid or acid-producing chemicals, so that the paper is more environmentally sound and is more stable over long periods of time. Now we're looking at this manufacturer's recommended uses for this product. It's important to understand that electronic printing equipment may have different specifications for paper products. Customers should be aware of these qualifications and refer to their owner's manual for the device, especially for end user customers that are using a small desktop inkjet or laser type printers. Always refer them to their owner's manual. Some vendors provide other information or ways to contact the organization right on the label, such as Neenah Paper's web address right here on this example. Now let's look at another sample of a label. This one's from Xerox. Notice that this product is 3-hole punched. There is a secondary language included on this label. Also, it has a brightness rating. Brightness refers to the percent of light reflected back from a sheet of paper as measured by a light meter reading. Notice also that the color is not listed on this label. In this case, the color is assumed to be white because of the brand of paper or the line that the manufacturer has created here. The digital color expressions line, all of the paper is white. Many products made for digital copiers or other electronic printing devices will have an indication of the print first side with an arrow pointing towards the side that should be printed first. This next slide is a list of paper types and their basic size. Take notice that bond, the basic size is 17 by 22, and book paper is 25 by 38. And finally, at the bottom, tag paper, the basic size is 24 inches by 36 inches. Getting to know these basic sizes and paper types will help as you get to know how the weights work for different papers, the weights and measurements. We talked about a ream of paper earlier on one of our other slides. It's important to understand that a ream of paper is technically 500 sheets. However, paper is available in many different package or carton quantities, so that when a customer asks for a ream of paper, sometimes they're just talking about the package of paper. Other times a customer may know that a ream is 500 sheets of paper. So it's important to clarify this as you talk with customers and try to meet their requests. There are some general quantities to different types of paper, such as bond, ledger, offset, book weights, are typically packaged in package quantities of 500 sheets. And they may have varying carton quantities as well. Most bond papers come in 5,000 sheet cartons, although there are junior cartons which would have half of that, 2,500 sheets, or 5 reams in a carton. Heavy coated book weight papers may be packaged in quantities of 250 sheets per package and may have 8 or even 6 reams or packages rather in the carton. Remember, 250 sheets would not be a technical ream. It would be a package, so that 2 of those packages would be a technical ream. So you can see why customers may ask for a ream, but they're actually asking for a package. So always clarify that point. Cover, index, vellum, Bristol, and tag usually are packaged 250 sheets in a package. Many double thick or pasted covers are packaged 125 sheets in a package. So get to know the package quantities and carton quantities by reading the labels very carefully. Once again, when a customer asks for a ream of paper, it's a safe practice to clarify the package quantity and the desired finished quantity that the customer is looking for. Because paper types vary and vendors vary, it's critical to read package labels very carefully to ensure accuracy. Thanks for joining me for this product line training module. Once again, my name is David Mount. We'll see you for the next training session. Bye for now.